Are you planning to travel by high-speed train in Spain for the first time and want to make your experience perfect? Look no further, because in this video we've got you covered. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello, I am Tony Galvez from Road Trip Spain and Portugal, where we help you plan the perfect trip with practical information and insider tips. I reckon we must be approaching 300 high-speed train journeys, and today we want to share what this experience is like with you who have never traveled around Spain at 300 kilometers per hour. Let's go to our guide to the high-speed train in 10 steps. The first thing you need to do is determine whether there is a high-speed train connecting the two destinations you want to travel between. Spain has an extensive network of fast trains, but they do not reach all tourist destinations in the country. In the channel, we publish a video every year where we update the information about the growth of the Spanish high-speed network, so you can check those destinations. Take a look at the video because it will clear up many doubts on the subject. We will put the link in the description of this video so you can get to that video quickly. Now that you have chosen the route you want to travel on, it is time to buy your ticket. The route may be covered by one company, but it may also be covered by several. What you need to know is that there are 4 different high-speed train services in Spain. They are the following: AVE, the first Spanish bullet train operated by the Spanish public company Renfe. It uses different types of trains, white in color, and is the service that reaches the most destinations. As it was the first service, many people here in Spain still use the term AVE as a generic term to refer to any type of high-speed train. The AVLO is a low-cost high-speed train also operated by the Spanish Renfe. It travels to a smaller number of destinations on purple trains. Ouigo is a high-speed train operated by the French company SNCF. It uses white trains and is the only operator with double-decker trains. And finally, Irio is a high-speed train operated by the union of the Italian Trenitalia and 2 Spanish companies. It uses red trains. Now you will see at the top of the screen links to the videos where we tell you more details about each of these services in case you want to know more. One of the most important things you should know is that the ticket on the low-cost services, AVLO and Ouigo, does not include the transport of bulky luggage, which must be paid for separately. AVE and Irio include the transport of suitcases even in the most basic fare. With all companies you can take on board your carry-on luggage. Be careful because low-cost train companies as well as low-cost airlines do check the luggage you are carrying. If you have not paid for a large suitcase and you try to board with it, you will have to pay at the boarding point at a price that may be more expensive than what you paid for the train ticket. To search for and buy tickets, you can visit each of the high-speed train operators' websites or take advantage of the Trainline, the agency specializing on train travel we have been using for many years, where you can search for and buy AVE, AVLO, Ouigo and Irio trains on the same page and at the same time. We have a video on the channel where we explain how to buy on the Trainline. Once you have your tickets, you can print them out or you can choose to carry them on your mobile phone. All companies accept mobile tickets. The important thing is that you can see the QR code on the ticket. If you are worried about your mobile phone not working at boarding time, forward a copy to the mobile phone of someone else traveling with you so you have a backup copy of the ticket. It's travel day, it's time to go to the station. All stations, whether or not they are in the city center, have public transport to and from the station. In the case of Spain's two main stations, Atocha in Madrid and Sants in Barcelona, there are also local trains and metro. In Madrid, the only city where the high-speed train operates in two different stations, it is very important to check which station your train will depart from, either Atocha or Chamartín. The train leaving from the former does not pass through the latter, and vice versa. Stations are often large and can also seem confusing, so don't arrive at the last minute. As you will see in the following steps, getting on the high-speed train is not as fast as on a conventional train. You don't arrive at the station 5 minutes before the train departs and get on it. Our advice is that if you're not familiar with the station, arrive an hour early to avoid any stress. In almost all stations, and certainly in Madrid and Barcelona, the high-speed train operates in a separate part of the station, a bit like international boarding at an airport. When you enter the station, you will have to find the boarding area for the high-speed trains. At Madrid's Atocha station, this is on two different levels depending on the destination of your train. If you are facing the wonderful garden of the old station, the two levels are behind you. To find out which level you should go to, check a screen where this information will appear. At Barcelona Sants station, the point of access to the high-speed train is to the right of the ticket office and is identified on the station signs. At most stations you will pass through a security control, similar to those at airports, before entering the area reserved for passengers traveling by high-speed train. Depending on the time of the day, there may be a long queue at the security checkpoint. Don't worry, you can carry liquids in your suitcase, no problem. Just be careful if you're traveling with a large knife. If it's too big, it can be confiscated. At some stations, such as Seville, the sequence is slightly different. You will first go down to the platform level and then go through security before boarding. That's it, you've passed through security and entered the lobby where you will wait for your train to depart. Now it's time to go to a screen to identify the platform. You will see the term vía in Spanish, from which your train will depart. Depending on the station, the screens may be different, but they always report train departures, sometimes arrivals as well. The access point to this platform is clearly marked with a number, and this is where you will board when access to the train is released. Queues before embarking begins in front of the boarding gate are common. It only makes sense to queue if you are traveling with bulky luggage and want to make sure you have a place for it. Otherwise, there is no rush to board, your seat is reserved. Each company has different criteria, but boarding usually starts 30 minutes before the train departs. At this point, you can proceed to the boarding gate where a company employee will want to see your ticket, and in the case of some companies, also an official ID card or passport. This is also when the amount of luggage you are carrying will be checked to see if it's compatible with the amount allowed on your ticket. This check usually happens only with the low-cost services Avlo and Wigo. Once your ticket has been checked, at most stations you will descend to the level of the train tracks, either by escalator or ramp. There are also lifts for those who need them. In some stations, such as Malaga and Granada, the platform level is at the same level as the waiting lounge. Now check the number of the coche, which is carriage in Spanish, on your ticket. It is the number of the carriage where your seat is. Two different situations can now occur. The first is that you board at the station where the train departs. In this case, the train will already be at a standstill waiting for you. You will have to look on the side of the train for the carriage identification. All trains have this identification near the doors to each carriage. The second situation is that you board at an intermediate station. In this case, the train should arrive on time and you will have 3 or 4 minutes to board. Don't fall asleep, but don't stress either, there's plenty of time. Wait for the train on the platform. The train will pull into the station and stop slowly. Everyone will stand up ready to get on the train. It is a busy time with people with suitcases going from one place to another. As the train is entering the station, try to identify the carriage numbers as the train passes before your eyes. The numbering is always consecutive, so it is easier to know where exactly your carriage is. When the train doors open, wait for passengers to get off the train before boarding. You are already inside the train. The interior structure of AVE, Avlo and Irio trains is similar and there is only one level. Ouigo trains are different. If you travel with a Ouigo company, you need to know whether your seat is on the tierra, earth level on the lower floor or on the cielo, sky level on the upper floor. To get to the upper floor, you have to climb a staircase. If you have luggage, it is time to put it in the luggage racks at the entrance of the carriages. They are reserved for large suitcases. If you board at the train's point of origin, it will probably be easy to find a space for your suitcase. At intermediate stops, however, you may encounter anything from overcrowded luggage compartments to lots of empty spaces. Hand luggage should be stowed in the compartment above the seat, except in the case of Ouigo, where this compartment is too small. Once your luggage is stowed, make your way to your seat. Seat numbers are usually marked on the side of the train. Look for the identification. The train departs and the best part of the experience of traveling at high speed begins. Sit back, relax and get ready to enjoy the journey, watching Spain pass by through the window at speeds of up to 300 km per hour. Depending on the model of the train, there may be a screen showing the speed at which the train is traveling at any given moment. Most trains have Wi-Fi, some are free, others you have to pay for. Our experience with free Wi-Fi on trains is quite mixed. Each seat has a power socket if you want to charge your devices. They are usually between the seats or at the bottom, depending on the model of train. Some trains even have USB ports. There is also a tray for you to place your tablet, smartphone, book, food, whatever. There are toilets at the end of the carriages. There are smallish narrow ones similar to those on planes and much larger adapted toilets. You can visit the cafeteria to stock up on food and drinks, usually expensive. Several companies also offer a mobile bar service, which will circulate around the carriages for you to order what you want. And some companies have food and drink vending machines. You can also bring your own food and drinks. There are no restrictions on that regard. Along the way there might be one or more stops. They are very fast. Don't get off the train. It's just a time for disembarking passengers to get off and new passengers to get on. Depending on the route you take, the journey will go by so fast that you won't even have time to watch an entire film. And soon you'll notice the train slowing down, the loudspeakers announcing the arrival at the station and the countryside being replaced by the cityscape. The train stops and it is time to get off. As with boarding, there are two possible situations. The first is that you get off at an intermediate station before the train's final destination. In this case, the moment they announce your arrival at the station where you are getting off, put your things away, collect your luggage, and wait by the doors to disembark the moment the train stops. Remember that the stop is quick. The second situation is that you disembark at the last station on your route. In this case, you can relax. There is no need to rush. Everyone will get off. The train is not going anywhere. Whether it is the final station or an intermediate one valuable tip. Make sure you don't forget anything on the seat or in the compartment above the seat. Mobile phone, tablet, documents, jacket, pick everything up. When you get off the train, another valuable, I would say infallible tip. Follow the flow of other passengers, which will inevitably lead you to the station exit. The last step of your journey will be to look for the transport that will take you to your accommodation. When you come out into the open part of the station, look for signs pointing the way to public transport. Taxis and buses usually stop in front of the station. The metro in both Barcelona and Madrid is in the basement of the station, and the way to it is well signposted. One final tip: be very careful with your valuables on the journey from the station to your accommodation. It is the most critical time of the journey, and pickpockets know it. And there you go, your first high-speed train journey is over. We hope you enjoyed the experience and were left wanting more. The high-speed train is one of our little traveling vices. We are lucky to live in a city, Zaragoza, which is very well communicated, and every now and then we are getting on a train going to discover or revisit little and big corners of Spain. As always, as you know, if you have any questions about the subject of the video, take the opportunity to ask. We will be happy to try to help you. Today we explained what a high-speed train journey is like, step by step, but we have many videos on the channel dedicated to high-speed train travel in Spain, including one in which we share 10 tips to make your journey on the high-speed train even better. Be sure to watch this video. We are waiting for you there.